Hello and welcome to my introduction of AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a non-industry specific software. It is used mainly for 2D modeling. For this software, we use some of the basic tools of AutoCAD such as line, circle, copy, scale, blocks, and layers, as long as trimming. Basically, all the tools a person needs to know to use the AutoCAD software. I want to make it clear that just because I know the minor basics of this software, it doesn't mean that I'm anywhere near fluent in AutoCAD. To learn more about the uses of AutoCAD, you can follow the link at the top of the page to go to the AutoCAD website. Model Space is the next thing I want to talk about. Model Space is the main workspace in AutoCAD. This is where I did all the inserting of templates, scaling my templates, tracing out objects from the templates, and many other things. In this space, you will find the tool ribbon with the line, circle, copy, and trim tools. The two images on the left are my small garden plan, and the two on the right are the master plan. The next thing we used was the template. By inserting the template, it allowed me to precisely place shrubs since I was able to trace directly on top of the images. For tracing out objects, I used a line and circle tool and then copied circles. The way I inserted my background template was I downloaded the image that was provided by Dr. Moni, then in AutoCAD I went to the Insert tab in the Tool ribbon, and I selected Insert from there, and then from there I went to where the file was located and I opened it in AutoCAD. Now on to the use of the Scale tool. The Scale tool allows you to scale the image in a 1:1 scale. By having a 1:1 scale, it allows you to directly trace things at their exact size within the software. To scale the image is as easy as a 5-step process. First, you click on the edge of the image, then you click on the Scale tool, then on one of the corners of the image, you click and then select Reference, and then select 2 points that have a known measurement. And the fifth, you enter the measurement, then select Enter key. Now your image is scaled. In the small garden plan that I traced out, the known measurement was 10 feet from the top of the circle to the bottom of the circle, where the red lines are included. The use of the scale tool is important because it allows us to model in real measurements instead of different things. On to the layer tools. The layers tool allows you to have multiple items on a drawing and be able to separate things as you go. You can designate each layer a certain color so you can tell what is what as you go. You also have the ability to turn individual layers on and off if you want. In the small garden plan, we had layers such as small shrubs, medium shrubs, and large shrubs, and many, many other things. I do not know enough to explain about all the things you can do in the layers. For both the small garden plan and the master plan, I used colors to help separate each color, but the colors were not industry specific. Some industries have specific colors to use to organize different layers. Now on to the blocks feature. Blocks are a feature in AutoCAD that allows you to use pre-made items in your drawing. I was introduced to the block feature when doing the master plan. I inserted lounge chairs and 2 different types of tables. When I inserted blocks into my master plan, I had to scale them using the 5-step process that I went over in talking about the scale tool. So the final critical component I want to talk about, it meant for both projects that we used, was the paper space. Paper space is where you can view and look at what your project is going to look like if you were to print it. In this area, you can adjust viewports and things like that. When in the paper space, you need to rescale your drawing down to a smaller scale, such as a 1:32 or 1:64 scale, so it can fit on a nice piece of printer paper. So overall, my experience with AutoCAD was very nice. I have typically struggled with different softwares due to their complexity and not being good with computers. So the software is not overly complicated, unlike other 3D softwares. Learning the key concepts such as model space, templates, scaling, layers, blocks, and paper space is definitely a key essential to being able to understand AutoCAD. In addition to all those, it is important to be able to use a copy and trim tool to be able to make your experience faster and complete things sooner. I will be using this software again for future projects.